Hey kiddos, so chapter 8 of our read aloud, the second story that we've been doing as a read aloud, we left off at an interesting spot last time with our main character. So here we go. Off to jail, off to jail, off to jail. The 7 nights of the week continued to chant. To the next chapter, off to jail, off to jail. The knights dragged Evan down to the bottom of the other hill, through the crowded streets, then over to a brick building marked Jailhouse. As Evan was shoved up the front steps, he couldn't help but notice the long, slimy snake working on the outside of the building. This curious snake was standing on a ladder, which reminded Evan of his favorite board game when he was a little kid. Oddly, he couldn't recall the name of that game right now. Ew, Monday Night said, I hate snakes. The snake creature had a wispy mustache and a red beret tilted to one side, tiny black sunglasses, and was holding a paintbrush in one tiny snake hand and a paint palette in the other. The snake artist was adding something extra to the sign that hung above the front entrance. Now it read like this: Jailhouse for spelling bee cheaters. Until he rots, Monday Night said. Yeah, until he rots, echoed Friday Night. Until he rots, the others chimed in. Yeah, or until next Saturday, King Knight said from way in the back somewhere. That's when we'll have to let him out so he can tidy up the cell again for cleaning day. Yeah, the others cried together. Until next week. Until next week. Until next week. Oh, be quiet, all of you, Monday Night said. Then he whacked each of them on the head with his javelin. We've got a prisoner to put in jail for the rest of his life. After that, we've got cleaning to do. March, march, march. March? Sunday Night said quietly. I thought it was June. Chapter 9, Jailhouse Poetry. Jail is boring. It has bad food. Jail puts me in a terrible mood. Jail is quiet. There's no one to talk to. Jail is smelly and there's nothing to do. Jail is awful. Jail is dumb. Jail is not fun. Okay, I'm done. Poem by Evan Jacobson. Written in jail. Chapter 10. Red to the rescue. Miraculously, barely 5 minutes into his stay in jail, which was long enough to write that terrible poem, the entire back wall of Evan's cell came crumbling down. Crash! Parked just outside was Red, the boy cycle. Red looked excited, hyper, and a whole lot of revved up. There was a heavy rope with a hook attached to his handlebars, which were also sort of his ears. Incredibly, even though he didn't have any hands, Red was somehow able to toss the heavy rope up towards the window and get the hook to land perfectly on one of the bars. Conveniently, he also possessed super strength to pull down the wall. Hi, Evan, Red said. His bicycle body wiggled and jiggled with excitement. Red was certainly glad to see that his new friend was okay. Thought you could use a helping handlebar, Evan suggested. Bring, 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 bring. Red, are you okay? Evan asked. You look a little, how should I put this gently? Insane? Evan had been talking with King Flibbertigibbet on top of the other hill just a few pages ago. Red had wheeled himself into Whole Lot of Lattes coffee shop down on Hitron Avenue, where he ordered 11 cups of straight black coffee, a half calf Skinny mocha with cinnamon, a triple shot non-fat latte with whipped cream, a scone, a quadruple espresso. But as to where he'd found the rope and grappling hook, nobody knows. This was how Red helped Evan escape from jail. Moving right along. Chapter 11. The Three Quests. Once Evan escaped from jail, he got on Red's back, then zoomed back up to the top of the other hill. Aha! Out of jail already, King Flipperty-Gibbet said. How delightful! He was still conducting the town, keeping all the creatures in check and cleaning away like mad before Queen Mother's arrival. Without saying a word, Evan snatched the wand right out of the king's right hand. Right then and ready, so give that back, King Flipperty-Gibbet demanded quickly. You word cheater, the creatures will destroy the town if I don't keep them in harmonious harmony. Not until you tell me how I can get home, Evan said. Tell me, and then you can have your silly baton back. It is not a baton. It's a conductor's wand, the king screamed, and I want it back now. Gimme, gimme, gimme. The king then proceeded to have a full-blown temper tantrum. It was quite ridiculous to watch a grown man flopping around, wailing like a kid who dropped his ice cream cone, but it was also very entertaining. The king wailed and moaned and stomped his feet, did a couple somersaults, even a springy backflip. Are you quite finished, dear sir? Evan asked momentarily, sounding very sophisticated for a kid. He was holding the wand behind his back. Yes, I believe so, King Flipperty-Gibbet said, then took a few deep breaths to calm down. There was dirt all over his gown and clumps of grass stuck in his crown from the somersaults. You'd better hurry up and tell me how I can get home, Evan said. Otherwise, it looks like your town will get smashed into bits and pieces. Down below, things were not going so well. King Flipperty-Gibbet tried conducting everyone by just using his hand. When that didn't work, he pulled on Evan's pant leg and begged for his magical wand back. Okay, the king said. I give up. You win. I'll do whatever you want. Just give me back my wand. The town was going berserk without their conductor to guide them. All the creatures were smashing and crashing and thrashing and bashing everything in sight. King Flipperty-Gibbet hummed and hawed as he tried to come up with something to tell Evan. How about you could, The king desperately tried to think of some way to send Evan home just so he could get his wand back, even if this meant lying to the boy, which went against his whole lecture about cheating during the spelling bee. The king finally thought of something. Viola, Eureka, Kansas! I've got it! The three quests. You could complete the three quests. The what? Evan asked. The three quests, silly child, King Flipperty-Gibbet shouted, still in complete panic as he watched his town being destroyed by its own townfolk. Everyone knows about the three quests. I don't, Evan told him. Well, I'll explain it to you if you stop interrupting me. Sorry. There, the king shouted, pointing at Evan with one hand while ripping out a chunk of his hair with the other. You did it again just now. Evan saw that this could take a very long time. So he zipped his lip and let King Flipperty-Gibbet explain to him all about the three quests. Well then, the king began, there are three quests, you see, and these three quests are called the three quests. Evan said, unable to resist. Don't push your luck, wand stealer, King Flipperty-Gibbet snapped. Yes, smarty pants. They are called the three quests, and you must complete all three quests before Queen Mother gets back. If you don't, then you'll be in big trouble, Buster. Big trouble? Evan repeated. Is there an echo in here or what? Yes, you annoying little repeater. Big trouble. The king steadied himself. Now, as I've been trying to explain, you have three chances to bring back the king scratched his head. What was that thingamajig you broke back in your world? The unicorn. Yes, yes, that's it. You have 3 chances to bring back the unicorn. The king gave Evan a big smile, trying to distract him. Then he tried to grab the wand behind Evan's back. Evan stopped him by simply pushing his hand against the King Flibbertigibbet's sweaty forehead. The unicorn, Evan asked, a little surprised by this new plot development. I have to bring back a unicorn. Breaking Mother's favorite crystal unicorn figurine was what brought Evan to this upside-down world in the first place. It didn't make sense that he had to find another unicorn just so he could go back home. Come to think of it, nothing so far had made much sense. So Evan decided that this sounded perfectly reasonable. That's why he agreed to do the 3 quests so that he could finally go home. Agreed, Evan said, handing back the wand. Agreed, King Flibbertigibbet said. He took his wand back and conducted the town at a furious pace. After a few tense moments, everything went back to normal. Or as normal as things could be for such a strange place. So where do I go? Evan asked. What do you mean, where do I go? King Flibbertigibbet said, acting as if Evan had just asked the dumbest question ever. There are only 3 places you can go in our world, pea-brain. Jeesh! For a cynical know-it-all little boy, you certainly don't know much about the things you ought to know. You know? No. Exactly, the king said. Listen, smart aleck. My name is Evan. I know that, the king shouted in an irate fashion. Stop being so smart alecky. After regaining his composure, the king said, you did something wrong back in your world. So that's why you ended up here in our world. That is how all cynical know-it-all little brats end up here. They break something or steal something or get caught cheating or all 3. Fine, Evan said, getting fed up with the king's attitude. But you still haven't told me where to go. Be quick about it, okay? I want to get these silly quests over with so I can go home. Ho ho, shows what you know, you cynical little know-nothing. King Flibbertigibbet held his tiny nose up in the air. As I told you a moment ago, there are only 3 places you can go in our world. The Forest of Flatulence, the Odiferous Underworld, and the Sea of Wonk. The Sea of what? The Sea of Wonk, the king repeated. You know? Wonk. Milk. 2%. Evan knew exactly what King Flibbertigibbet was talking about, which, unfortunately, would not be explained until much later in the story. Whatever, Evan said, getting back on top of Red, who looked excited and ready to begin a quest. 3 quests. Just point us in the right direction, okay? I'll figure the rest out myself. Some help you are, King Flibberty Booger. King Flibbertigibbet, the king yelled. Just pick a direction and go, he said, pointing every which way. Now get out of my sight. I have a town to conduct. With a flick of his wrist, the front door opened up. Evan and Red left quickly. They raced down the other hill, through the town, past all the crazy cleaning creatures, then out the front door. The doors slammed shut behind them, and everything got quiet, just like before. Thank goodness that's over, Evan said. Ring! Ring! Now what do we do? Red asked. The 2 of them were all alone, still unsure which way to go. So just to keep things moving along, a tall wooden signpost magically appeared out of nowhere. It had a single arrow on it, just like before, which pointed them in the right direction. Also, just like before, the sign read like this: Forest of Flatulence this way. And off they went. All right, kiddos, so I'm going to leave you there. Very interesting. Wonder what's going to happen.